Welcome back to Genre. I'm your host, Elise.
And I'm Katie.
And today we're talking about In the Wake of the Ruin by Kalie Cassidy. But first, we have some things to say. Katie, did you come prepared?
A little bit and a little bit not.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I have one pop culture discourse book talk thing to discuss.
Okay.
Which is the battle of people trying to cancel other book talkers for saying they read too many books and that it's impossible.
I know. I've seen that too. That and also people just trying to cancel authors because maybe they think AI was involved, but really they just didn't like the book. It's like just people forgetting what the word derivative means.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't know what to do about that.
You know, and I wonder if it's that the book talk world is so wholesome in a way that they're like, well, we've got to figure out what we can criticize these people about.
I know.
So let me just say, there's no way that they could read that many books in a month. And I think that's really silly.
I also just think it's an inability to believe that anybody could be different from you.
Yeah.
For example, you and I read drastically different amounts of books in a month. I average about 10 books a month. And some months it could be like 13 or 14. Some months it's 7 or 8. But I definitely average about 2 books a week.
And I am doing maybe at the most 4 books a month would be a lot for me.
Yeah. I know. And it's just people are different and people also read different things. One of the reasons I can read that many books is that I would say half of the books that I read are books that I really need to, pay attention to. They're slightly more in-depth books, things that like need a little bit more brain power. And then the other half, baby, Omegaverse, Kindle Unlimited romance, like smutty little romance novels, things that they're just candy for my brain.
Yeah.
They're fast reads.
Yeah.
And sometimes those fast reads are 500 pages, but they're still fast reads. Like, it's not anything too serious. Why are we taking things so seriously?
I think that's just the world. People have to find and pick apart other people that are successful. And if there's something that they can't agree with, then they're like, well, if I can't read 100 books a year, then obviously you can't read 100 books a year.
I know. It was very popular book talkers. And I'm like, well, these book talkers, bookstagrammers, whatever, this is their job now.
Yeah. I mean, they don't have a 9 to 5. So they could literally sit and read for 12 hours a day.
Yeah. And
a personal dream.
A personal dream. And maybe they're recommending a book because they're getting paid for it. But
that doesn't mean they didn't read it.
Doesn't mean they didn't read it. Also, that's a different conversation. If you're thinking that you want like some new and different recs, things that like everybody else isn't recommending, sure. You know what I mean? Like maybe you got to expand out to smaller like book talkers, smaller book podcasts, etc. And or people just with more niche interests. Like the bigger you are, the broader your reach is going to be. So like sort of the broader your recs are going to be. And so then you just have to do a little bit more research, find people that like align a little bit more. I know that we've just started really upping our recs on our social media and the niche.
I was just going to say
are like people are just like, thank God.
I know. I was thinking that some of the recommendations that we've been doing or you've been doing specifically have been on smaller topics that I don't see that are covered very much, like fan fiction and Omegaverse. That's very interesting that there's a group of people out there that are like, thank God.
Thank God.
I was desperately waiting for these recs.
And there's an audience for it too. Like some of them just in the comments, some people are really being like, oh, don't forget this one.
This. Yeah.
Or like, do you try this? I even found some that I didn't know. Somebody posted basically a manga recommendation because it's like big on like that. I'm just like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I know Omegaverse is huge in fan fiction, and that's going to become a whole different type of Omegaverse. Like, it's a very versatile alternate universe, like, subgenre. And that's so interesting. So there is both an audience of people who are interested and people who are, like, really in the genre like I am. I think the same thing for fan fiction. When Amanda was on, we did, like, an romance rec, and that was very similar.
We also got a lot of good recs from that.
Yeah. So I do think... Sure. I think you have to try a little bit harder. The people that just like everything else on the internet, just because somebody's popular doesn't mean they're for you. Just find somebody who is for you.
There's
no need
always
to cancel
someone.
Anybody.
I know. There's someone for everyone.
Yeah.
That's what my therapist would say.
That's
about romance.
About romance.
Yeah.
Just be open. Open to romance.
Open.
So
what do you got to say?
I got I had two things, and I think I'm going to do my second one. As always, I've come and then I changed my idea at the last minute. I really want to talk about my summer TBR because we're almost at the end
of summer. Thank God.
I know. And I know
unpopular opinion.
My mood-ass reading self is not going to read these summer books after August. She's just not. You know
Do you
what I mean?
have like summer beach books?
Yes. So they're behind you. I should have taken them down.
Oh.
But particularly, I bought a bunch of them. Like, I'm a Book of the Month member.
Oh, right.
And so, and I got a bunch of them off of Book of the Month. So particularly Dolly All the Time, which is behind you, which we will read because that's like on our list for podcast reads, our last summer read. The Low Job was a Book of the Month pick that I haven't read yet. In Stormy Weather, which is a romance, is a Book of the Month pick that I haven't read yet. And they've been on my summer TBR this entire time. Usually I read the Book of the Month pick like right away when it comes in, but for some reason I was just not doing it. And
busy.
And so I need to get them done. I need to prioritize them.
Well, are they going to be physical books?
Yeah, they are physical books.
Yeah,
that's part of the reason too, is that
it's tricky.
It's tricky when I need to lug something around.
Yeah.
Or decide to buy it 3 times, which sometimes that happens. You know, I have the Book of the Month hardcover.
Yeah.
I could get it in Kindle. These are not really on Kindle Unlimited. These I would pay for. And then do I get the audiobook? Then I own it 3 ways.
Yep.
Which, I mean, listen, it's not going to be the first time, not going to be the last time I own a book 3 ways. It's tough to be a mood reader. I don't want to leave them in the summer. I want to read them before the summer.
Yeah. Because once that sweet September air comes, I'm going full frickin' fall. And I want to try, I think I said this before, to do very fall-y, very in the season reads, like holiday reads, fall reads, New Year's reads.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, we have a few authors that we're going to talk to this week that we read that are like going to be such good fall reads.
Oh my
God, I feel like we have a jump start on it.
Yeah. Such good fall reads.
Yeah. But I know, I need to finish them. And then, you know what? Let me just give this one more. I just need to bring it up one more time in August before it happens. I'm worried about ACOTAR 6 and 7. like when are we allowed to just say that we're worried? Because I'm worried now.
What is it? So it's the end of October.
And we're in the middle of August.
So I think we can start worrying the end of September.
Okay. I mean,
because I think arcs for this, for
she's
ACOTAR...
She's not going to send out arcs.
You don't think so?
No. I think a couple of journalists will get
but I know
advance copies, but they're going to be like a week before.
Well, that's what I think.
Out.
And I think they're going to be like a week or 2 before. And I feel like we'll know those people. And by October 1st, I think we'll know if anyone has been able to get an advanced copy.
Right. But like, we don't know the title of any of these yet. We haven't had a title announcement. We haven't had a cover reveal.
I know. No one even knows what these goddamn books are about.
I mean, there's no synopsis, which I can see the synopsis not happening. If they wanted to just cold drop these books, no, we don't know if it's a Moore book. We don't know if it's an Elaine and Azriel book. We don't know if it's a Avengers Get-Together books. I can see us not knowing that, just not getting sort of a blurb before it comes out.
I don't know.
But I hope it would be very unusual.
I hope Sarah J. Maas is doing well. I hope there's nothing going on.
I know. It's one of the, it just feels weird. It was already a little weird. And the closer we're getting to the release date with nothing it's just making me worried. I don't think it's not going to be released. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just concerned about the content. Like when this type of marketing push doesn't happen for movies or like a sequel to a movie, for example, or a huge blockbuster with a lot of really big actors in it, it was because the movie's bad. It's because the content's not good.
Yeah, but we all know that I guess we don't know. Who knows? But I'm pretty sure her edits went in 2 years ago.
Yeah, who's to say? I don't know, but I'm just saying I'm worried, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's get into the book. This is going to be our spoiler-free section, but just a heads up, because In the Wake of the Ruin is the sequel to In the Veins of the Drowning and the conclusion of the Siren Mage series. There's going to be spoilers in here because we're going to be talking about the first book.
Yep.
So just if you haven't read In the Veins of the Drowning, this is going to be a little spoily for you.
Yep.
So come back. All right, so let's give the synopsis first. After claiming her ancestral crown, Imogen can no longer hide who she is, or the dangerous power growing within her, as her bond with the ancient deity Eusia becomes stronger than ever. With the war looming and alliances shifting, Imogen and Theodore must navigate their duties to their kingdom and their growing feelings for one another and a desperate fight to destroy Eusia before she brings the realm to ruin.
Bum, bum, bum. I just think an important note here is that I don't know anybody's name. I don't know how to pronounce them. I was doing audiobook. I was doing
regular book.
And these are some of the hardest names.
There's some of the hardest names. I also agree. Besides Imogen and Theo.
Yeah, thank God.
Like, the main characters have easy names, but everybody else is kind of hard. I would agree. All right, so this is Kalie Cassidy.
Yep.
This is her debut series, right? So In the Veins of the Drowning was her first book. This is the conclusion. It's a duology.
Yes.
Which we're always saying that we like. This is how I actually convinced Katie to read this book. I have feeling she's going to have feelings about that as we continue going on, I imagine.
Yes.
And we really liked In the Veins of the Drowning. I actually looked because I went back to my notes for the In the Veins of the Drowning episode, and we basically recorded it this time last year. It came out.
Gosh, should we really?
Yeah, it came out around this time. We also did it was like an August drop.
Oh my gosh, it's September 10th.
Yeah. All right. So for the genre, I mean, it's a romantasy.
Yep.
But it's a gothic romantasy more. In the Veins of the Drowning was the same way. It had sort of like moody overtones.
Yeah, and it was, it's very much focused on sirens and their history and their lore. So much more in that fantasy realm than anything else.
Yeah, I think so. And I also said it gives very much like dark fairy tale vibes. There's mages and sea witches and all of that.
Yeah, it's like what you think of mermaids and how they're like these beautiful creatures, but in this, I think when you think of sirens, you're supposed to be thinking of them as like kind of evil, and then the Nagaya
are like they're mermaid zombies. They're siren zombies, essentially.
Siren zombies, mermaid zombies.
Yeah, and they're not too much in this one. The Nagaya were really big deals in the first book, and
but not
they're
so much
here.
This. Yeah,
but we figured out who the big bad was in the first book, and the big bad was Eusia. And so she was sort of
Eusia, Mage a bitch.
Mage a bitch. Some of the tropes, I mean, yearning, real big throughout this one. Last book was the slow burn, and we said that there was yearning in that one.
Yeah.
This one, the slow burn's done. It's just straight up yearning. Yearn.
Which is kind of funny for second book and the conclusion, for there to be so much yearning.
Yeah.
Which I think we'll get into in a little bit. Yeah. But yes, I agree. Full-blown yearnsters here.
Yeah, they were couldn't stop them from yearning.
Nope.
And then, I mean, Chosen One, prophecies, everything that sort of makes
up your typical romantasy.
Yeah, your typical romantasy. I was going to say there was a moment there I thought we were going to quest, but we didn't. We didn't quest. We were pretty close to a quest at one point.
Well, yeah. I was like, oh, we're getting dropped off at another island to go look for something.
Is it a quest?
It better be one fucking chapter.
Yeah, I know. It was. Are we going to have to go to another island after this?
No.
Okay.
No. Get back on the fucking boat.
Yeah, get back on the boat. So no quest. All right. And it is a dual POV book.
I was going to say, I think that's the major difference between the first one and this, is that we get Theo's point of view, which I thought was great.
Yeah. I think that actually really attributed to the yearn factor, the heavy yearn factor.
Yeah, because our man Theo, yearning.
Down bad.
He's down bad for Emmy.
Yeah. I like that he calls her Emmy.
I think Imogen, what a beautiful name. And then Emmy, a great, cute little nickname.
Yeah.
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 Love it.
Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. To set the scene, we really pick up right where we left off. Literally, Imogen is crawling out of the ocean after she's defeated her big bad uncle.
Her father.
I know, but doesn't she think he's her uncle, like in the first book?
I have no idea,
Okay.
Elise.
All right. Well, you put the packet on the glass.
What glass?
Anyway, after defeating Nemea.
I don't know.
Yeah. After defeating Nemea and saving herself by, performing what sounds like a truly insane spell that Eusia gave her to basically stop a death blow from killing her. And she jumps out of there, is ready to tell Theo what a good job she did.
Yeah.
And his guards arrest her and are just like, nope, you're a big bad siren. We got to take you in.
Yeah.
And she goes, where's Lachlan? My buddy Lachlan.
Yeah.
And he goes, nope, you're arrested. But it turns out Lachlan is just going to secretly take her to Theo. So that's the scene, basically.
Yep.
And that's how we set the scene. And then Lachlan and her have a small moment where they bond because
Agatha.
Thank you. Agatha was taken by Eusia.
Yeah.
And so, here's the thing about Eusia. We say that she's taken by Eusia all the time, but really by agents of Eusia.
Yes.
So she does none of the, we're going to get into this when I give the It's Giving, okay? She does none of the dirty work.
No, Eusia is like stuck in a pool of dirty water.
Yeah, she can't get out of the pool of dirty water where she just needs to suck the power from people.
She suckles like in Hocus Pocus.
Yes. So by agents of Eusia, and they need to go and find her. And Lachlan is desperately in love with Agatha.
Yeah.
Agatha is Emmy's best friend, so they're going to go and find her. They find Theo along the way, and she crashes his wedding. And that's basically, boom, we're in the story.
Yep.
So...
boy, frickin' does she.
All right, let's actually get into the characters really quick. I have, obviously, Imogen first.
Yeah.
As a reminder, she's our FMC. She's a siren. She's a super powerful siren, which is important to note, because a lot of sirens are just, they can have like a little bit of a lore and convince people, but she's siren and a mage. And at the end of the last book, she also became a queen of 2 nations. So she's got all sorts of things going on for her. And she's basically like, I could take or leave most of these.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not here for this.
No one asked me if I wanted all of this power. And the answer is I don't.
Yeah.
So she does very much want Theo, but is willing to give him up. Like, in her mind, he's...
as all our female main characters are, selfless.
Yeah, and she's willing to give up Theo because he has things that he has to do for his nation. She's technically needs to do it for hers. And she's actually just like, I'm just going to kill this Eusia character. And if I die,
I
okay.
Die.
Yeah. Theo knows what he wants, and that's Imogen.
That is his girl, Emmy.
And he also has all of this pesky duty he needs to do. So
but he likes his duties.
Yeah. He's still going to marry Hala, which is the deal that he made to strengthen his nation, stop a war in the last book. Hala's mom, I don't know her name. I tried to I was like looking for her.
No.
I always pronounce it a different way, but she's an agent of Eusia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's call her Nagala.
It's like something like that.
It's not even worth it.
I know.
Yeah.
And so he's going to marry Hala, and does marry Hala, but like has totally changed the contract and is basically just gonna cheat on Hala the entire time.
Well, he marries her as like a mistress.
Yes, essentially.
Is what this contract is.
And the only thing that Hala cares about, we can actually move to Hala because that's one of my characters in here too, is that she agrees to this marriage, which is not a marriage. It's it's barely even a political marriage. It's just a...
And in this world, like, you get married and then there's like this binding ceremony. And that was one of the stipulations in the contract, is that they are not going to have this binding
and
ceremony.
It's like very important. Like, you're not considered married really if you don't have this binding ceremony. And so she agrees to this like half marriage and all of this. And her only thing is, you need to give me a baby.
Yep.
And he's like, I'm going to say yes, but the answer is going to be no. I'm not going to do it. But this is the only thing that she wants. And it's important to note that both Theo and Imogen are considered gods, as well as being kings and sirens and mages and all of that. They're from a lineage of gods, and that's pretty much a stipulation of to be a ruler in this particular.
Yeah, but it's not like your typical gods. Like, they are just kind of regular people. They can die, but they do have powers.
They have powers. They're long-lived, but they have powers.
Yeah.
And so Hala really wants Theo's god baby, basically. And that's the only thing that she just keeps yapping about. She's obviously has gone through something with her mom this entire time. And she's very hard to read. She's like back and forth. You can tell that she's torn between, I think, what she sees as her duty and questioning what she's just learned all of these years, because the nation that she's from also worships Eusia as their deity.
And Eusia is a big bad.
And Eusia's the big bad. And I think we should go on to Eusia really quick. She's the big bad, and she loves to have people do her dirty work for her.
Yeah.
And I really think in this book, the thing that I kept thinking about was that she was basically a cult leader.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think that was like less clear in the last book. Like, obviously she was like a big bad. People were doing things in her name. But like now I'm just like, let me just jump to It's Giving really quick. She's Charles Manson. Like, not killing anybody, just having everybody else kill for her. and just going through and making sure that like she's starting wars and all of this stuff. She's starting wars, she's ending wars. It doesn't matter as long as she gets what she wants. And it is to remain in power. And to remain in power, she needs to suck power from people.
Yeah.
So I thought that Eusia was giving the Manson family, a cult leader doing none of the killing. And also, just for the Eusia part, I really pictured her as like a crumpled Voldemort. Do you know how like in the movies, Voldemort at one point is like a weird baby almost that like can't like before he gets his like body back, he's like a weird baby. I don't know.
Baby Voldemort?
I don't know. Yeah. I might be making this up because I tried to find it online so I could show you and I couldn't find what I was thinking of.
I don't know if I really can picture baby Voldemort.
I just sort of pictured her like that, like a weird, wrinkly old baby who just can't get out of her gross seawater and just constantly needs people to give her blood so she can keep existing.
Interesting. I think of her kind of like the girl in The Ring where she like doesn't have a face and is just like covered with like murky black, like oily stuff.
Like I think that could work too, but I'm really picturing in particular
baby
a weird,
Voldemort?
scary baby.
I was not thinking of a weird, scary baby. Okay. But interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And then my other, it's giving. Last time I said that this was giving the Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid, the very dark and creepy Little Mermaid. This one was giving me Disney Little Mermaid, which I'll go into more in the spoiler section.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought it was giving House of Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
Where everyone kind of ends up being related. No one cares about who they're married to and just sleeps with whoever they want. Tons of names that we absolutely cannot pronounce.
And all of them sort of the same.
Yeah. And then just like many, many moons of lore. Just so much lore that we're never going to understand.
Yeah.
We're never going to understand all of it.
Yeah.
And that is what this gave to me.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
All right. You want to give your one-line plot?
Okay. Extramarital siren sex on a boat, interrupted periodically by war, blood magic, and someone explaining a 600-year-old family tree we stopped following 3 names ago.
Yeah, you're really going to be stuck on the names throughout this entire podcast, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Here's mine. 2 reluctant monarchs find themselves in the middle of an ancient magical cult, a network of poorly dressed and heavily brainwashed followers, and the slow realization that the evil deity's master plan is somehow even weirder than anybody anticipated.
Yep. Yeah, that's fair.
I can't wait to talk about the outfits that were worn at the end of this book. Wow. Yeah, it's something I've been really thinking about. All right, high level, Katie.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
No. I was... And Elise knows this. It was so hard for me to read this book. And I went into it being like, I really just don't feel like I'm in a romantic-y mood and I don't want to read one. And
I convinced you.
And you basically convinced me. You were like, it's a duology. We have to do it for the fans. We have to do it for the fans because we keep talking about duologies and how there's not enough of them.
Yeah. And it was pretty short.
Okay. So like, but it doesn't matter if something's short when I was not picking it up. Like there were 3 days in a row that I just didn't read this.
I know.
And I didn't want to. And I did the recap that we posted for this. But then when I opened that book right up, I'm like, I have no idea what we're doing here anymore. And I'm not interested.
Yeah. No.
And listen, and I think this is a personal opinion. It's not like I think the book was bad.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine a lot of people really liked this and the fact that there was a conclusion, but I think if I didn't have to read it for the podcast, I would have just stopped reading it.
Yeah. So mine is like a maybe. Like I like maybe like this book, and I think it was for a lot of the same reasons I have here. I loved that it was a duology. I love that we wrapped it up. And I think there's not anything specifically wrong with this book, but at the same time, like nothing I particularly loved about this book.
Yeah.
And I think that is what we need to talk about, because I agree with you. I actually don't think it's a bad romantasy, but it wasn't for me.
I wasn't really...
And I don't know if it was because I wasn't in the mood.
Yeah, I think it's probably more of a me thing. I just wasn't super interested in the characters. I wasn't like, oh, I hope this happens, or, this surprised me. I was just like, meh, let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Let's get into the spoilers.
Okay.
Let's sound the alarm.
Okay.
Ready? Wee-oo, 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 wee-oo. Spoiler section. All right. When did you decide that you didn't like the book?
Nearly on the first page when I was like, what the fuck happened in this book again? I mean, I read my recap.
Yeah.
I did not read In the Veins of the Drowning.
No, I didn't read it to prep, no. But I went back and read my own notes because I took notes for this podcast. I read some recaps online, just to refresh.
And I think what I liked about the first book was that I don't really feel like we had a lot of Siren sort of gothic stories. And I was really into that in the first book. I don't feel like I was interested in coming back into this world at this particular moment in my life.
Yeah. I mean, in retrospect, this could have been a spooky season read, and maybe it would have been better.
I know, maybe it would have been better.
I know. I sort of said that, like, I sort of didn't decide to like or not like this book. There was nothing that turned me off, and there was nothing that grabbed me. And it was boring, but also not so boring that I didn't continue reading it.
But like, we didn't really have a choice.
Yes, I mean, that's true. I don't know. I don't think I would have stopped. I think I would have finished it. I mean, it takes a lot for me to DNF a book, but I think I still would have finished it. But I will say that, it's objectively fine. But maybe I'm just like done. I don't know where I am with romantasy right now also, because I think I really liked the characters, but the plot, I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I think that when I was saying I'm kind of sick of romantasy, it was like, is it a wolf thing? Like, am I reading too many wolf romantasies?
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and so I was like, okay, let's see. And it wasn't the wolf thing.
Yeah.
I think it's like a romantasy thing right now where I'm just not super interested. Like, nothing about this grabbed me.
Yeah.
Like, not even the same thing that grabbed me in the first book. So I think that's what I think it is.
Yeah. All right, let's go into plot twists, because I have a couple of things to talk about, and they're definitely part of the plot twist.
Let's see if I even picked them up.
Yeah.
Because
my first one.
Yeah.
Like, the first note I had on this was like probably came 3/4 into the book, because I don't know, there was like nothing I really needed to take notes on until this part where I was just like, oh my God, Eusia just wants a baby. That's her entire thing. This big bad plan that Eusia's been doing for millennia is trying to convince her followers to have a baby with God's blood in it.
But I don't know.
So she could feed on it. So Nemea did it with Imi's mom, who was a god. He succeeded. And instead of throwing Imogen in a pool of dirty water, which is what they did with her mom, she was able to give blood sacrifices, and that's how Eusia formed a bond with her and how that power kept alive.
Yeah.
Then she tried to convince Hala's mom to do it.
Yeah.
But Hala's mom got tricked and instead slept with Nemea, who wasn't a god.
Oh,
and then
just
so that was so
mortal.
So Imi and Hala are now weird sisters in some sort of way. And then when Eusia was just like, you had a baby with no God's blood, get out of here. Now Hala has like been trying to win Eusia's love, even though Eusia doesn't care. And so that's why Hala is trying to have a baby with Theo, so she can have a god baby that they can give to Eusia, so Eusia can, bestow her favor on Hala. And I'm just like, so this was all just for little god babies that you were going to give to this weird, scary, inky baby? That's how I imagined them. So I'm like, that's like a weird twist. You mean the whole point of this book was that this big bad parasite would, even though she's being fed by everybody, she would prefer just to have her very own baby to drink.
And then I don't really understand, well, why would she not encourage Imogen and Theo to get together and have a baby? Because then wouldn't that be like a super god baby?
Yeah, it would be a super god baby.
So I don't really get that.
I don't really get that either. You're right. That would be a super god baby.
It feels like a baby. You'd suckle all of its little god blood out and then it'd be done pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know. And it's very unclear.
Yeah.
And maybe she would like it if Imi and Theo had a baby, but they weren't. Theo wasn't a Eusia worshiper, so he was just a means to the end. I think. And then maybe Imi was, but then Imi figured out that this was just a weird parasite cult leader. And so she was just like, none for you. So then that one was the weirdest one that I was just like, so this was all for baby food, basically.
It was baby food.
It was baby food. You should want baby food.
Yeah. Gross.
Then I had Aleka's betrayal, although that wasn't particularly surprising. Let me just tell you, because I can tell right now you're like, who's Aleka?
No,
weird name.
I remember Aleka because Aleka and another guy who I don't remember his name.
His name actually might have been like Martin. There was one other person on his on Theo's council that had like a normal name.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Marcus? I don't know.
Marcus. Yeah, it was
something like that. Yes, like I remember Aleka and maybe Marcus being like confidants of Theo's, people that he really trusted
on his council.
And then when things started to go missing, they were like, who the heck is it? It must be Marcus.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was
Aleka.
It was Aleka.
Who was just sort of, I mean, I think Marcus did some of her dirty work, but it was Aleka. And she was a Eusia devotee wearing, let's just talk about it now, what the devotees of Eusia wear like during ceremonies, apparently, which I only remember in this book and not in the other one, is a fleshy pink color dress with a red sash or like gash down the side, because like Eusia's miracle is that she split in two but has stayed alive all these years. So it's supposed to be like a body with a giant gash down it. And I'm really picturing it like a flowy gown robe type of thing. And I'm just like, gross, 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 gross.
You know what I kind of think of it like? A lovely like nude fleshy colored slip dress.
Yes.
Like a really silky flowy one with like a screen printed bloody thing down the middle, but also something that maybe Lady Gaga would wear.
Yeah. And also, I mean, like a little yonic, if you will.
Yeah.
A little vaginal.
Well, yeah, when you put it like that, I could see how that could be yonic.
Yeah. I'm just like, once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it.
But also, I just felt like everyone was in a chemise.
Yeah.
In this book. At some point, everyone's in a silky chemise. And I'm like, put on some goddamn clothes, people.
I know. Oh, my God. Okay. And then the other plot twist before, like, the final one, which I think I'll keep because it's one of my scene stealers, too, is... And this was confusing. I don't know if you picked this up. So, like, when they defeated Eusia, in the defeating Eusia scene, there's something going on in the throne room with Hala's mom, and Agatha and Lachlan are there.
Yep.
And then below the throne room is where Aleka and Imi and I believe Theo comes in, but like after everything is sort of done.
And Hala comes down.
And Hala comes down. And I think Theo shows up, but like, no, Theo's actually up in the throne room.
Theo's busy upstairs.
He's up in the throne room. So upstairs is Hala's mom, Theo, Agatha, Lachlan having a showdown.
Yep.
Downstairs, Eusia, who pops out of the water. Aleka, who's trying to prepare Imi for some sort of sacrifice.
Yep.
Imogen, and then Hala. So at the same time, apparently, there's Agatha does this killing spell upstairs in the throne room, and then Hala does this killing spell downstairs in the weird sacrifice room.
Yep.
And we think that Hala is doing it on Eusia because Hala's in the same room as Eusia, and upstairs that Agatha is doing it on Hala's mom. But in fact, Agatha was doing it to Eusia, and Agatha killed Eusia, and Hala killed her own mother upstairs with the same spell. But we were seeing it obviously in two different chapters and in two different POVs, Theo POV and Imogen's POV, and I was like, well, that was confusing.
But also,
it was kind of cool, but confusing.
Yeah, what luck.
I know. Yeah.
What luck. Because nobody knew what was going on upstairs or downstairs. Nobody knew that there was people upstairs or people downstairs.
And it happened at the same exact time, at the perfect time, because Imogen had like severed her bond to Eusia and all that stuff. So, I mean, listen, it all came together.
You know, I
wonder love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah, but I feel like the only reason I really kind of know that is in the epilogue.
Thank God.
They
explained it. Like the chapter right before, like there's an epilogue, and the chapter right before the epilogue really did a lot of work.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, okay, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones, I think.
I mean, and I thought the plot twist was that Hala was Imogen's sister.
Yes. Yeah. The weird babies. Weird baby twist.
Yeah, but also, like, they don't care. Like, at some point I was like, oh, do you think this is going to be, like, bring them closer together, or they're going to have some sort of, familial thing? No, nobody gives a... Nobody cares.
A hoot, I'd say.
No, nobody gives a hoot.
Yeah. Did you have any scene stealers in particular?
I felt like we spent a lot of time on a boat.
That's what I put. It wasn't even, it was like things I was confused about, and I just said, so much boat time.
So there was so much boat time, and I felt like they just kept picking people up at various points of this journey, and I was like, how many rooms are on this boat?
And they kept being like, I wake up in a stateroom. Because Imogen's constantly waking up in a stateroom. She's constantly getting hit on the head, she's like knocked out, passing out. Imogen is constantly unconscious. She's unconscious a lot.
I was like, is this a cruise ship? It's like every port, more people came on. And this must be a big-ass boat.
At one point, I think I did have to stop for a second. And I was just like, no, they're on a boat. Like, I thought maybe they were in a castle.
No, they're on a boat. And that boat was also where they were supposed to have the wedding.
Yeah, the wedding was on the boat.
So, but also, I think they had mentioned in the book, said like 100 people were here for the wedding. We've got to continue with the feast. And I'm like, but where is everyone sleeping on this boat?
I don't know, Katie.
We were always on the boat.
Constantly on a boat.
Yeah.
Constantly on a boat.
So
I agree. And and I do think there were points where they were describing a boat and I myself was picturing a castle. I think it happened a couple of times.
We were actually only in a castle, like in the beginning and then at the end.
Yeah.
So that was really my the descriptions of the boat. This is the biggest boat in the world.
Yeah. And those are the scenes that stole you.
Yeah. Like I couldn't I couldn't stop thinking about.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop thinking about the boat.
Yeah. I said the epilogue was my favorite part of the entire book.
Back on a boat.
No, not that one. That was before the epilogue. The epilogue was when Imogen was in the old Mage Seer's cottage.
Oh, a year later.
Yeah, like a year later. That one, yeah. So that was my favorite part because Imi's happy and she's doing magic for people, but without having these people tear off a bit of their flesh so you can eat it. Because the Mage Seers were, I know, it was so gross. The Mage Seers also were like weird hunched little witches that needed payment for magic, but because
little cannibals.
Yeah, but because Imogen is so powerful, she doesn't need to do spells to do some of the lower level help people stuff that people were going to the Mage Seers for. So somebody comes and just asks for a potion, and the Mage Seer would have needed to cast a spell to get the seawater in her little cauldron, but Imogen's like, no problem.
I am the sea.
So she was just able to help this woman, no charge. Here's your potion. Let me know. And I thought that was really nice because that's kind of what she wanted. She didn't want to be a king or a queen.
Yep.
And she just wanted to be a siren and help people, basically live a quiet life. And then what I also liked, and this was sort of the twist that I didn't want to say, is that because Theo knew that Imogen didn't want to be a ruler of any nation, she didn't even want to be the queen, his queen. She was uninterested in queening at all.
Yeah.
Theo, basically, we find out in the epilogue, says, no more monarchy.
Yeah.
Ends the monarchy. And turns his nation into a democracy or a republic, but either way, no monarchy.
Yep.
Abdicates the throne and comes back just to live with Imogen, just be a healer in their nice little cottage town in the woods while she's the Mage Seer.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a good twist because that's not usually what happens. Usually the woman gives it up for whatever, and he gives up everything.
Yeah.
So he can be with Imogen. And that is when I was saying it reminded me this book was giving Disney Little Mermaid because in The Little Mermaid, she gives up everything. So it's like a twist on The Little Mermaid.
I was going to say, Prince Eric didn't give up nothing.
It's the twist. It's that's why it's a twist. It's a happily ever after.
Yeah.
But instead of the mermaid or the siren, giving up her family and giving up, her legs and her power and her whatever to be with the prince is like, oh, I'll just give up everything for you.
Yeah.
And so they still live happily ever after and the type of and
Agatha's there.
Yeah.
It's like Kelly's community.
It's like, it's a nice community. It's a compound.
My best friend Kelly wants us to all live in Kelly's community, which is where we all have our own houses, but we have like a clubhouse, a huge pool. Yeah. We all just like live on this plot of land.
Yeah. It's a compound.
Yeah. Giant compound.
I also just picture it as like just a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, just a neighborhood.
Yeah, just a neighborhood. But so I thought like that was, I think, a really great way to end this book. Like if I were to pick one thing about this series that I thought was great, I thought the epilogue was a lovely happy ever after. Mm-hmm. And I loved that she had to give up nothing and he had to give up everything.
Yeah.
Happily. You know what I mean? Like he did it happily. But like the women in these books are constantly sacrificing and she did not have to. And I liked that.
And I think that's where the yearning really had a payoff.
Yeah.
In the end here.
Yeah.
Because he was down bad crying at the gym.
Yeah. You couldn't get him out of that gym.
No.
He was.
The gym here is a boat.
Yeah.
Man loves a boat.
Man loves a boat. I don't even think he was a sailor. He's the healer.
I felt like he was always like, let's get back to the boat and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, like we'll talk about it in the boat.
Yeah.
Speaking of yearning, I think that's the one trope I just want to go into a little bit more. Because obviously the yearning was yearned. The yearning yearned.
Yeah. The yearning yearned and was earned.
Yeah. But the one thing that I thought was like kind of icky, maybe, but like it wasn't, but it should have been, was that he was just fucking married the entire time.
Well, that's why I was like, at no point did anyone like feel bad. And it wasn't a secret. He was like, Hala, I'm marrying you, but I think you're trash.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go on this net and fool around a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they were in Hala's mother's castle sleeping together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, at no point did anyone feel bad about this.
No. And
it wasn't a question. All the guards knew and they were just like, nice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. And then I think part of like the build up to the yearn, because this wasn't a slow burn, right? It was just a yearn, was that they almost had sex 1 bajillion times.
Oh
like
my God.
It got interrupted every single time, except for the most inappropriate time, which is when they were in his wife's mom's castle.
With the wife there, the mom there, everyone's just down the hall.
Yeah. And they're like, nope, this is the time.
Yeah.
That we're finally gonna...
Alone.
Yeah, that finally alone. We're not in a boat.
No.
And so no one can find us. We can lock a door. There was lots of rooms on the boat, and apparently not a single lock.
No locked doors there.
No.
Because people were like going in and out of the windows on the boat. And I was like...
No privacy on a boat.
There's absolutely no privacy on that boat.
Yeah. That was the one thing. I liked the yearning. The yearning was great, but it was weird.
It was, I thought that the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. So we're not really, like, usually it's like, oh, I must get divorced or I must.
Yes, like, not this. Before. I would never dishonor. No. They were cool.
Dishonoring them all over the place.
Yes, all over the place.
Yep.
And then one last note I want to say before we give our ratings.
Yes.
Is I really wish Lachlan had more airtime.
You know, I thought in the beginning, I was like, okay, Lachlan is almost like the comic relief. He's the guy swinging the sword right now.
Yeah. Like he could almost have another book. Like if she was going to do like a spin-off of this, like maybe it could be Lachlan. But no, Lachlan's story wraps up too.
Well, once they pick up Agatha, that's it. Lachlan's like, well, I don't need you. I'm not swinging my sword for you anymore. And I'm busy with my lady.
Yeah. I'm living next door.
Yeah, I'm living next door.
We can be besties.
But yeah, he was like fun in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like maybe like the first quarter of the book and then it kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
So I agree. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. All right. Katie, what's your final rating?
You know what? I'm going to give this a 3.
Yeah. I gave it a 3 too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 3. Again, I think this was more me and the timing of reading this book. I do like the way that it wrapped up. I love a duology. I just wasn't super grabbed by it, but that could just very well be my own timing.
Yeah, I feel similar because I truly believe there was not a single thing wrong or bad about this book.
Agreed.
I just don't think it didn't grab me. It didn't keep me. It didn't hit me.
No.
And some of the plot points I did find funny. Like, again, the baby, the getting married and just ignoring it the entire
just ignoring
time.
That.
The fact that, Eusia is basically Charles Manson. So, like, I thought of those things, but I don't know if I went there just because I wasn't in the right mind space for it. Like, it's objectively a good romantasy. I just don't think it was for me. And so that's why I give it a 3.
Yeah.
Because I really think other people would really enjoy this book.
Yes, I would still recommend this book to people.
Yeah, because I do think it's a little bit of a different romantasy. It's still gothic-y. The sirens are cool.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
And you know what? If you read this, because now you can, like, first book and then immediately read the second book, I feel like it's probably very rewarding that it wraps up this way. But, I mean, we read it like a year apart.
Yeah.
And there was too much. There's like a lot of history and lore and names. And I couldn't do it. But I think if you went from the first book right into the second book, you would be in a good spot.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, so 3. Again, I didn't hate this book.
I didn't hate it, but I wasn't interested in it.
Yeah, I think that's sort of what it was. Like, it wasn't boring, but also I was bored.
Yeah.
And that, I don't think it's the book's fault.
No, like, every now and then I'd be like, ooh, what are we doing on the net?
Yeah.
But, like, otherwise.
How'd you get in this window?
Yeah. But otherwise, I was like, no.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right, Kay, why don't you tell everybody what we're reading next?
Okay. Okay, next time we are reading Last Night Was Killer by Mary Pauline Lowry.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be a funny murder mystery.
Yeah.
And it's about a single mom finding a dead body in her trunk and being like, hey, what happened here? And I think it's going to be really funny. It was recommended to us by our friend and author, Jordana Weber. She was like, I know you guys loved How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates. And I think this might have the same kind of like funny murder vibe.
Yeah, and I'm excited for it. And also the Pie Lady on Instagram. Wait, what's her actual handle?
I think it is the Pie Lady.
Is it the Pie Lady?
Yeah.
I love her account.
I know.
Like, we have to link it. I love her account, and she makes pies and then decorates them like the covers of books, and it is an incredibly satisfying watch.
It is so good. Her freaking pie covers are unreal.
I know, they're so good. I mean,
they're so detailed, they're so gorgeous, and she does all sorts of books.
Yeah, Pie Lady Books. Pie Lady Books is what her handle is, and it's so cool on Instagram.
So good. Everyone should follow her.
Yeah. Oh my God, so cool. All right, take us out, Kay.
Remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, no genre shaming unless it's funny. Bye.